Hello everyone, and welcome to a video in which I'll be syncing my HP Jornada with the Inspiron 600M running Windows XP. So this is running Windows CE version 3.0. It's Pocket PC. This was made before HP bought out Compaq and renamed their PDA lineup to iPac, which was Compaq's former name while they were still making PDAs themselves. And essentially, this has 32 megabytes of RAM. And you can choose how much of that you wanted to be dedicated to data storage. When this thing died, you'd lose all your information that you synced over from that laptop or whatever computer you had. But if you wanted to store stuff on there permanently, you could get a compact flash card, which you can connect the compact flash slot up there, which is by a status LED, which is pretty neat. So let's go ahead and take a look at the About page here. This is a very interesting operating system. You have all sorts of apps and stuff that come pre-installed. Money, Reader, OmniSolve, which is a pretty cool little calculator. I'll probably take a look at that in a bit, but go to the About page here. You can see $19.99, 32 megs, though a little bit of that isn't accessible to the user. If we go back to the main page here, I want to show you something pretty funny in Media Player before we do sync it. Check this out.
You're listening to the Windows Media Player or Pocket PC.
It's kind of amazing. It just reeks of the 90s and Seinfeld. But anyway, if we go back to the main page here, let's go ahead and take a look at Pocket Word. Now, this is a stripped-down version of Word for Pocket PCs, and though it doesn't have a ton of features, it gets the job done at, just typing random gibberish. And the other program I want to show you, that before we go ahead and sync it, is OmniSolve. Because I think it's one of the most interesting ones. It's actually a pretty advanced little calculator with a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. Much more advanced than Palm's built-in calculator, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong about that. Pretty sure that this is superior to that one, though. So, let's get back on track and go ahead and sync this thing with Microsoft ActiveSync, which I have installed on my 600M. It's what you use to sync these. Pretty neat. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. Finally, the syncing process was over. I accidentally did this twice because I forgot that it takes a little bit for the apps to install even when you're done syncing, and they just kind of appear over time, the icons do. So I thought it hadn't synced properly the first time because it had been a month or two since I last used this thing. Anyway, let's just look at some games. Colors, yeah, it's you can see it's just a demo, but might be able to find a serial number online. I don't know. Yeah, you can just see that it was copying files and installing stuff in the background. Alright, well, this is Colors. It's essentially a Bejeweled clone, and it's kind of slow. As you can see, it takes a while for things to drop. I don't know if it's just that this device isn't super powerful, or if it's just that's just how the game runs usually. I don't know. But yeah, you can see it's still copying stuff over. That's just kind of what it does. But anyway, you can do some cool stuff like change the skin. It's definitely nice that there's some customization here. It's really impressive just how much you can do with this thing, honestly. I'm surprised I was even able to find software for it at all. Yeah, there we go. We gotta let it copy some files over and install. Super Solitaire demo by the looks of things. Alright, so once we let that wrap up, I'll go ahead and show you the next thing. Yes, let's take a look at how about Tetris? Yeah, it just appeared, why not? This isn't my favorite version of Pocket PC Tetris. I prefer, I think it's Raymond Decline Tetris is what it's called. That one works better and just performs better in general, but this isn't a terrible port of Tetris, and yeah, I don't know, it's pretty nice. As you can see, I'm just kind of letting the brick fall. I mean, it really isn't even with my keyboard connected, there really isn't a way to get it to like soft drop or rotate. I can only just move it. So yeah. Another cool program is Pocket Artist, which is essentially like sort of like MS Paint, except it's still got some cool stuff, and it's also lacking some features that Paint has and had at the time. But in general, it's a pretty fully featured little drawing tool, and definitely a nice thing to have. This stylus is actually pretty pleasant to draw stuff with, though I'm no artist. Anyway, you can add text and everything, but moving on, if I go back here, you'll be able to check out Microsoft Reader. So this came pre-installed, but I thought I'd show it to you just because I was impressed by how smooth the text was. You see, you'd think that, looking at the rest of the operating system, the text would be kind of rough around the edges, right? But because it uses ClearType, it actually has some pretty smooth text, and I just think it's cool. It has an ebook reader that comes with it, with a manual, I believe. The reader guidebook, and 2 fairy tales. I haven't actually read this, but I might try reading it sometime. It's just the screen isn't very good for reading. The viewing angles are pretty sad. And keep in mind, this is from 2000. I mean, this is, I believe, the HP Jornada 547. And yeah, it's just pretty cool. It can do all this stuff. It's like it's running a basic version of Windows because, well, that's what it is running, But anyway, if I go back here, you'll find that there's a lot of just really cool stuff you can do with this. So yeah, that's my HP Jornada, and I like it a lot. It's a pretty cool little device. Yeah, mobile devices nowadays are much more advanced, but sometimes it's fun to just go back and sync these old devices and have some fun and feel some nostalgia. Because even if I didn't grow up using one of these, it does share a lot of design elements with Windows 95, 98 that I did grow up with. So yeah, definitely very fond of this PDA, and I hope you found this interesting. Goodbye.